Did I just make a broad sweeping statement on this thumbnail? Yes. Do I agree with my broad sweeping statement? Yes. Power Rangers by Boom Studio is blowing DC, Marvel, and everything else out the bloody water. And here's why. My name is William James. I am the host of The Bald Book Geek. How are all of you? Where do I start with this? So Power Rangers, we all know it even through osmosis, through anything, even if you're not that generation. We all know Power Rangers. We all have a team that defined us over the last 30, just under 30 years almost of history. And if you go into it, look at the Super Sentai, the Japanese origins and the originals, what they edit is fascinating and worthy of a video into itself. They decided to make a film. The Power Rangers movie was not very good. It had some great ideas, some great concepts, but it wasn't a great film. It was also basically a very long, very expensive advert for Krispy Kreme, the donut company, which sucks. Boom, on the other hand, did what the film should have done. They took the basic concepts, kept certain things the same, kept certain elements the same, but tweaked it. Added depth, added a lot of storylines, added characters, explained plot holes, explained the villains' backstories more, not just giving you 10,000 years ago this happened and now we're fixing it. You actually get the story, you understand Rita Repulsa, Lord Zed, her mother, you understand the villains, you understand the whole arcs, and each arc has been fantastic from the very beginning, where it picks up just at the start where Tommy joins the team as the Green Ranger, and then picks up throughout. And obviously the Shattered Grid, where everyone came together, every universe of Power Rangers came together to fight this great evil, Shattered Pasts, and then the current arc, which is coming to an end. Literally, this year is the end of Power Rangers Boom Studios run. And I'm really sad about it. Honestly, I think more companies could learn from this, how to do comic books well, how to do great writing and depth that doesn't feel like it's pandering to the purple-haired weirdos on Twitter. And it's aimed at fans. It's aimed at people that love the original source material, that have that soft spot. Yes, it's aimed at a bit of nostalgia as well, but it's done well. It doesn't feel pandery. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel agenda pushing. It just is a superhero comic with great depth, world building, characters that are actually interesting, that have more than one defining attribute. Even if you are not a Power Rangers fan, and you just want a good superhero comic, go read Go Go Power Rangers by Boom. Boom also are handling the Buffy reboot by the original creators, and it's a comic book. I've talked about it in another video. That's really good. And other things that are in line with Boom. Boom Studios are a great comic books company because they understand the fans. There's no, well, we want to do this and we're going to bring in this writer because everyone on Twitter is telling us. They actually understand the fans. They understand who the fans are and what the fans want, but also so willing just to take it in the direction. These characters are iconic and they're part of pop culture, and to be so brave with them and just do it and roll with it and create something that felt contemporary. And that's another thing. They've taken the characters of the original Rangers, Jason, Trini, Kimberly, Zach, Billy, all of them, Zordon, Alpha, all at Bulk, Skull, and Ernie at the Juice Bar. They've taken these characters and just pulled them into the 21st century, and it doesn't feel out of place. There's been a couple of spin-offs, Power of Pink, which is an alternative universe Kimberly after she left the Rangers in season 3 and was replaced by Catherine, and her sort of journey. It also explains that Tommy, Trini, and Zach weren't going to a peace conference, but joining the Solar Rangers. And it brought together characters that we'd never seen together, and it explained them. It feels rich, and you feel like this universe just feels good. It works. You have characters who are, I mean, in the original Power Rangers, as much as I love it, and as much as part of that fandom I am, I do feel like, yeah, there were deeper puddles. You know, they're like Sarah J. Maas novels. Shallow. But take those characters that actually did have arcs and interesting stories that were touched upon. Just add a few layers underneath. and you understand them. I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible, but you will see things and bring together things that are so beautifully done. Shattered Grid, I still think, is one of the best comic book story arcs I've read in years, and it blows so many out the water. I genuinely believe that Power Rangers by Boom Studio is a defining comic of the decade. It's more phenomenal. Yes, I'm quoting something now. And it satisfies that need for a good superhero comic, but it also satisfies that need for well-written, great characters. And I would love them to develop it into like an animated movie or something, because that would just be cool. The art is fantastic as well. That's a big thing with me in comic books. I really hate this horrible Tumblr art style that you see, like Steve Universe crap. Did I almost say another word? Yes. I absolutely hate that kind of blobby, chunky, fat-looking art that just is so ugly. And this is just... the characters look human. They're stylized, but they look human, and the backgrounds are gorgeous, and everything looks like the Zords look mechanical and big, and the villains are stunning, and it's a gorgeous comic book. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I wholeheartedly recommend them. It's very rare for me to say this, but the 5 out of 5 is just well deserved. I'm so glad that they happened, and I'm so glad that, you know, it goes to show that, yes, I can be a little bit hard on the comic books industry here and there, but when people get it right, they get it right. And Power Rangers by Boom Studios has got it right. So tell me what you think, as always. Comments, questions, links in the doobly-doo, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.